Last month I was at my at the boot sale, and on my favourite one of my favourite stalls there, I found this very nice pair of 10-inch Elliott Lucas pliers, model number being PW2163-10. Monstrous great big pliers, the biggest pliers I've got in my collection so far. I got these, some drill bits and another smaller pair of Elliott Lucas pliers for £1. As you can see, they're not in too bad a condition. Handles are fairly clean. There's a little bit of damage to the handle just here, hopefully you can see that. There's a little bit of rust going on in here because obviously you've been kept in a damp atmosphere, closed up. There's a little bit of rust inside the jaws, as you can see. So what I'm going to do today is try and clean these up without resorting to any power tools at all, guys. So let's have a look what we've got here. We've got you can see some wear marks in here where they've not been sort of fit. I don't think these have been used too much actually, guys. If you look in here, there's a few wear marks there, and inside the jaws there too. We have wire cutters just here. Nice wire cut here. There's not all that much damage to the wire cutters here either. I think maybe we might have a little problem with pitting in here. There might be some of the little teeth missing out of here and out of here as well. Little holes in there, I think. But other than that, I think they're a really nice pair of pliers actually, especially when I paid about 33p for them. That's not bad at all. They're ultra tensile, as you can see there. We've actually got the Elliott Lucas name and elect here as well. Not bad condition at all, guys. So let's have a go at cleaning them up, shall we? We do have a little damage on the handles here, as you can see. I've got an idea how I can fix that. I'm going to be using some 3M Scotch Weld 490 in here, some structural adhesive, which is black, funnily enough, 2-part adhesive, so I'm going to fill that up there later on, but not just at the moment because I want to work on the rest of the pliers first. The handles aren't in too bad a nick. I've already been over them with some IPA at work so that I can handle the pliers without getting filthy. As you can see, still a little bit of grubbiness on them. But other than that, they're not too bad. So I think first of all we'll see if we can't fix the rust in here. We'll get a wire brush to that. Okay, so I've got my new dust mask on, as you can probably hear. Got a couple of different sizes of wire brushes here. Got a large one. Let's give it a go. Let's see what we can, how much we can get out of there. This one's probably a bit big. Okay, so they're cleaned up quite nicely in the cutting edge here. So there's only very, very light rust in there. Alright, so let's take a post-wire brushing look at it. It's a lot cleaner. Just given the, I'm going to have to put some metal polish on here, I guess, because it's still a bit horrible and dirty and what have you. But it's come out quite nicely in here, and also in the cutting sides here. Very nicely cleaned out in here, so there's just very, very light rust really in there. There is a little bit of pitting in the jaws here. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be though, guys. There's a bit of a hole there where the teeth are missing. Not a lot I can do about that now. I say they've probably been stored somewhere damp with the jaws closed for a long time. There's a little bit of wear in there, so I don't think they've been used a great deal, to be honest with you. But not bad at all, really. There's a bit of crud in here next to the handles. I'll have to shift that out of there, I think. A bit more cleaning. But other than that, I mean, you can see in here where I've got the rust out quite nicely in there. Look, guys. So, and in here too. Not bad at all, really. So let's get the crud out of there. And then we'll get some metal polish on here and see what happens. In here I have some undiluted no nonsense degreaser. Let's see what we can get off of the head of the pliers with this, off the jawls of the pliers with this stuff. Yeah, it's fetching some crud off. Let's move it out of the way a bit. There we go. It's pretty good stuff, this is, because it's not some too dodgy chemicals, I don't think. As you can see, it all foams up quite nicely. So it must be doing something of a job, I reckon. You can see all the crap coming off there for a start. As you can see, I've fetched a fair amount of crap off them. It's still a bit grubby. I think what I better do now is get some Scotch-Brite on the case, because I've got some Scotch-Brite over here. You have a little bit of Scotch-Brite. What I'll do is I'll dip it into the no-nonsense degreaser, like so, and we'll give it a go again. Let's see what we can do. Fetching more muck off. Right then, so what we'll do now is we'll give them a rinse, and then we'll get some metal polish on them, see if we can bring them up even nicer than this. So here we are, after the initial clean-up. Give them a bit of a wire brushing, a bit of a cleaning with the degreaser and some Scotch-Brite. I'm sure you'll agree, it looks a lot nicer now than it did before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some metal polish on them and see if we can't clean them up a little bit nicer. And this is what I shall be using. I'm going to start by getting some on the Scotch-Brite here, so we can really scrub it in. Okay, so as you can see, hopefully there, we're working up quite a nice shine on these pliers from what they were originally. Very nice indeed. Let's take a look at them, guys. Okay, so what do you think of the finish now, guys? Much nicer. I like that. I'm quite pleased with that. You can see your finger in there as well, look. Same on the other side. Wow, they've come up really well, haven't they? I think what we've got to do now is get some oil into this joint here, because it's pretty bone dry. We'll get some 3-in-1 in there. My late father's last bottle of 3-in-1 he ever purchased. Right, let's get some into the joint then. Alright, look at all the crap coming out, guys. Okay, so what we've got to do is keep working it now until we get rid of all this black stuff that's coming out of here, so it comes out nice and clean. And they're already loosening up very nicely. Look at that. Alrighty, so what we'll do now is we'll let the little bit of 3-in-1 oil that's still in there, we'll let it soak in overnight. But what we'll do now is we'll see if we can't sort the handle out just here, guys. Right then, so this is the problem. This rather nasty little crack here kind of spoils the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some 3M Scotch Weld DP490. As you can see here, this is a structural adhesive and it is in 2 parts, so let's take a look at that. So here it is, the 2-part adhesive here. So what we'll have to do is get a little bit of each out of here, mix it together, and then we'll see if we can't fill this gap in the handle here. So we'll scoop a little bit of the white out. Here we go. I don't think we're going to need too much of it, to be honest with you. So we'll scoop a bit more out. Okay, we'll have a little bit of the other component out here. There we go, that should be enough. Mix it together a little bit. Okay, so this is where we find out whether we've mixed enough or not here. Let's scoop some up, so we can get it in the cracks here. It's looking good so far. It's going to make a bit of a mess first off, but hopefully we can clean this up, make it look a bit smoother and a bit nicer. This stuff is particularly messy to work with, but it can do a very nice job if we can get it nice and smooth and get it away from where we don't need it. Right, there we go. It's filled it up as best as I can do it. Probably not all that great. What we'll have to do is leave it 24 hours, because it can take anywhere between 24 hours and 7 days to cure properly. So what we'll do is we'll just set them aside just here until tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll take another look. Okay guys, so here we are actually a week later. What do you think now? Nice and shiny, beautiful shine on them. You can just about see your fingers in there. Very nice, they come up really well actually. The oil that's coming out here, as you can see, is starting to come out nice and clean, which is what we want. They're beautifully smooth now. They run quite nicely. Now if we look over the other side here, you can actually see it's a little, hopefully you can see that, there's a little star shape to the pin in the middle there to stop it rotating round. Hopefully you can see that, guys, in there amongst everything else. But the finish of it is very nice now. Quite pleased with that, actually. Okay, so here's the repair to the handle that I did. Probably not the best, because it seems to have, you know, the 490 seems to have sunk in a little bit, but a lot better than it was. I'm quite, well, yeah, I'm quite pleased with that, actually, guys. All of the cutting jaws on this pair of pliers look like they've hardly been used at all. I think they're still in good condition, actually. There is a little bit of a gap in here, you know, between the cutting edges. But other than that, not too bad at all. So what we'll have to do is give it a try. Okay, so I've got a bit of a selection of cables here. This is standard 2.5mm mains cable from the UK here. So that's three, as you can see, 3 cores of copper with some insulation. These two here are something we use at work. This is like a rigid cable. There's actually copper outer, then we have some dielectric, and then a conductor inside there. It's quite hard stuff to cut. This is again, this is like a braided. You've got an outer insulation here, braid inside of that, some dielectric, and then an inner core again. Let's see how the cutters can cope with this lot then, guys. Start with the mains cable here. Oh, blimey, it did it. It cut it. Let's try some of this cable then. Not quite down the bottom, there's a bit of a gap down the bottom, but at the top there, cuts it off very cleanly, as you can probably see there. Right, let's try this rigid stuff. Yep, got through that, as you can see there. Cuts it all the way down with that one. So it managed that lot then. Let's try these bits, see what we can do with those. Try some copper first, the earth. Yep. Oh, they're so big you can't keep hold of them. Right. Chop that off nicely. What about the other side? I say they open up so far, I can't get my hands around them. Here we go. Yep. Getting stuck in there. What about the 2.5mm stuff? Let's try it with some insulation around there. Will it go in there? Yep. Chops that off nicely. Other side is just as sharp, we hope. Yep. Nice. Yeah, so the problem with these things is they open so wide, you just can't get a grip of them properly, especially at the end where you need the leverage. I can't anyway. I know I've got large hands too, look. So you just can't get a grip of it. It's all like a two-handed pair of pliers. But you know, once they're fairly closed up, they're all right. But I say this wide, you'd have a job getting hold of them. I think what we ought to do is let's try a nut and bolt in here. Here we have an M8 nut and bolt here. As you can see, it's nice and loose. Butt it up a little bit. Right. Get the monstrous great pliers in. Get a hold of the nut, and crikey, you can get a real good grip of that actually. Yeah, that's done it up nice and tight. And God blimey, who did that up? Gadzooks, it's tearing the hell out of the nut here. Oh, there we go. Blimey, yes, it's torn the hell out of it. Do you see all the bits falling out there? Blimey. Hasn't damaged the pliers, which is a good thing. I'm having to use 2 hands to do this up because I say, you know, the span across here is so big. So butt it up again. There we go. It's chewing the nut up to look at that, all the bits falling off of it, guys. It's just chewing the nut to pieces, it is. They're that good. Okay, so what about this monstrous great M20 nylock nut on a bolt? It's fairly tight. You can't do any much further than that really by hand because it's just gone onto the nylock bit there. Let's get the monstrous pliers onto the monstrous nut and see if we can do anything with it. Yep, we got it. As you can see, this span is so big that I just cannot really get a grip of them. They're just too big. But hang on, there we go. So you can even do an M20 nut with them if you had to. Wouldn't recommend it though. Alrighty then, so you remember what these old pliers looked like before we started, and well, look at them now, guys. What do you think? I think they've come up really well. I'm really pleased with this set. I say, especially for 33p. I'd have been willing to pay £1 for these actually, but for 33p, they're awesome. And I say, they're the largest set of pliers that I have in my collection now. And here is a sample of the pliers I have. We've got these Negisaurus RXs here. We've got some Laowa slip joint pliers. I've got these ones here as well. But these are the biggest ones I've got, and they're awesome. And here is another size comparison. The smallest combination pliers I have in my collection. These little small Amtech ones I got off the market stall for 50p. Not bad at all. I'm really pleased with the way these came out. They're definitely going into my collection now, into my toolbox. So if I need some humongous great big pliers, these are going to be the babies I'm going to. They're brilliant. They're really nice actually. The quality's there. I don't know how old they are. I really don't know. I can't find anything much about them online. They are down as Jaguar pliers, like they're out of a Jaguar toolkit from God knows when. I mean, I don't know how true this is, but yeah, they're a rather nice pair of pliers actually, guys. And I hope you enjoyed watching me restore them back to well, nice condition again. Very nice. I'm very pleased with these indeed. Please let me know if you've got a set of these, or if you know any more information about them. I'd like to find out a bit more about them. What's the number again? 216310s, 10 inches. Right guys, hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll hope you pop by again another day for another look at something else I've got, because I've got plenty of more old tools out there that need reconditioning, and I'm off to the boot sale tomorrow morning, so I'll catch you later then guys. Thanks for watching.